Hello and welcome to my channel, Compelled to Impact. I'm Gina T, Spirit Life Mentor. I've taken some time off recording videos for a couple of months for a few different reasons, all of which were part of preparing for the next level of my life. There are so many moving pieces to this, which I continually address each day. I'll share some of those steps with you in this series as we move forward. In the past several years, it became important to deconstruct myself, to deconstruct my beliefs and past, and figure out how I wanted my life to look, as I'll be starting my 7th decade next year. Or is it this year? I don't know. I can say that it hasn't been the worst nor the best, while at the same time, I've had experiences that were much more devastating than I expected, and many more that turned out to be better than I could have ever imagined. I decided to talk about these things for a few reasons. If I can be more transparent and open, especially on a global platform, I'm openly owning my life, my choices, and how each experience has taught me, and they will not go to waste. If even one person can learn the ultimate resolution of God's immense love in all the redeeming factors in their life, I can increasingly become a model of my motto I hope to see in the world: to live excellently, give generously, and love lavishly. We can learn so much from each other's journeys. We are all on the same ocean here with different floating devices, different tools and skills. We fit into each other's lives at different times and for different reasons, for different lengths of time and depths of space, intensity. The point is that you have mind and heart power to see the truth beyond this temporary existence, beyond this three-dimensional time and space that we only see with our physical eyes. That's right, I'm going there. But hear me out. You have been conditioned to accept life as only what you can see and touch, while being told that only certain people, unusual people, can think outside the box. You've been made to fall into line while being told to think for yourself. Just make sure you don't go past the boundaries that rock the boat. Being a boat rocker is not an easy path, but you can nudge those boundaries a little at a time to open your heart and your mind past the current agenda that you're living in. Live with a strong moral compass. Think through your thoughts, words, and actions. Understand that each movement you make creates ripples around you. You need to choose what kind of ripples you create. And I hope we all choose ripples of goodness that add value and love to the world around us. Be you. Don't follow the crowd. Be a humble, quiet, habitual nonconformist. That way, you test the qualities you want to grow for yourself without disrupting someone else's boat. However, when it's time to be out there, it's time to be out there. It's time to stand up for what you believe in. Then do it. My dad called me an instigator because I would come up with ideas that didn't fit into his agenda. I was naive and respectfully compliant. It was a very different era with extremely different circumstances. There was a measure of control disguised as security that I didn't understand. I had been systematically disempowered so that when the moment came to stand fixed for a critical decision, it was squelched and squashed into the ground with no chance of saving. I know that sounds very dramatic, but without giving you details, that very moment would have changed the trajectory of building a more rewarding and satisfying life for my siblings and myself. I had failed, and the proverbial rug was once again pulled out from under me. This is where every shred of hope was lost. I was 21 with a big bucket of loss, as well as a huge misunderstanding of how anything could ever be redeemed. What do you do when you lose hope? I moved on, dragging an anchor that kept gathering gunk and junk for over 40 years. The redeeming factor was evident to me. Even in the most difficult years, the gift of my remarkable, brilliant, compassionate, loving children. After 2 failed marriages and as a single mom, they were my life and still are. My reason to keep going, to keep getting up each morning and making an effort. My dreams, energy, and identity were enmeshed in keeping them safe, giving them an idea of the importance of a spiritual life, and over-explaining everything so that they knew that they always had options. These adults, my offspring, are the epitome of what could have been for me and my siblings. It's clear to me now that we each had different challenges to overcome to be able to stand strong, surrendering and releasing unreasonable grasping to a distorted ideal that doesn't belong to us. Letting go of the previous generational patterns of despair that built walls around us. Maybe that was the tiny spark of hope that lived inside my heart and mind, my soul, to change what was and multiply what can be. What I'm saying is that life is always unpredictable, always changing, just like the power of water in the ocean. The most important thing is to understand the value of who you are in your spirit, that through compassion, love, peace, and joy, you can stoke the flame of hope. In anticipation and expectation of who you want to be, you can celebrate the advent, the arrival of heaven right now in your heart and mind, and then rise up to align with and live as the masterpiece you already are in your spirit. Receive what is meant for you and what you are ready to embrace and embody in each moment. The action of creating this as a habit becomes your new reality of living excellently. That's it for today. Thank you for listening to my channel, for subscribing, sharing, and interacting. Keep seeking and learning. Stay open to possibilities of grace, compassion, and love. And as always, live excellently, give generously, and love lavishly. Ciao.